how sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal, HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. So happy to have you guys here with us tonight. And I say that because you guys were already in the chat. You guys were ready to go. I wasn't even the first one here. I'm probably never the first one here. But like I usually say, it's your show more than it's my show. So I'm happy nonetheless. This is your weekly Thursday night nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax. And even from a nice decanter, hopefully by now you've poured yourself just a little bit more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer. That's pretty good. I don't even remember what was in there. I don't remember. Yeah, every so often treat yourself to a nice decanter pour. If you got one, and if you don't have one, you should have one. Lots in store tonight, and I say that as I have nothing on the agenda, but I know we will find things to talk about because that's what we do here on the show. If you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. Plug yo shit. You know what I'm gonna do actually? I've not done it in a while. Channel members, of course, you have a link to the stream in the community page, but I want to throw one in for all the regs out there. If you guys want to join the stream, you can hit that link. But as I say every week, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. It is me. I am the problem. It is me. Oh, so good. So good. Happy to have you guys here today. The tripod behind me. That is, can I hide it? Let me see if I hide this. Oh, no, it's going to be weird. Here, maybe do that. That is a laser level on top of my camera tripod. That's what's going on there. I was using it to figure out the shield situation on the wall. A couple other things. I haven't given you guys like a tour of the new space. Like I haven't done. Oh no, I did the tarot card video. So I was thinking, I've not done a pre-recorded video in this house yet, but I did that one, but that was a real rush job. But what I'll do is I'll show you guys real quick. There's this wall here, and that there used to be a TV there. And we took the TV mount down because we're not using the room for that. Hopefully this doesn't fall. Okay, I think we're good. We're not using that wall for a TV in this space. And when I took it down, I was like, oh, there's a plug up there. I don't know what I would use the plug for other than a TV. But then I decided, I was like, oh, I want to hang up and I'll say my hellos after that. I was like, oh, I'll hang up all the shields there. Because I have 3 Captain America shields plus a Teen Titan shield, and I have some other things. I was like, oh, maybe I'll mount the shields up there and like stagger them, maybe like in a V or in an upside down triangle or something. But because of that, there's a plug up there. I decided not to, because I'm like, if I'm going to hang something there, I should somehow use that plug. So I'm trying to figure out what I can hang up on this giant plain wall that maybe would be illuminated from the back and use that. So it's bare for now. But I measured out like I was going to put the shields up, then I didn't. Ended up putting the shields on this side, which I think you guys saw on Instagram. You must have seen on Instagram. If not, I'll post it right now on Instagram so you guys can see. Let's see. As I say, see plenty of times. see. It will be in my stories. If I can find a picture. I don't know why I'm just not taking a new picture instead of scrolling. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, but you know what? That's not the layout. All right, I'm just gonna take a new picture. Just gonna take a new picture to post on the gram. I'm zoomed in. Don't mind everything that's happening there. It's a mess over there. But is now on my stories. And with the delay, actually for you, it is now on my stories. Yeah, so I have the 2 cap shields there. I ended up going with the classic color scheme, and then underneath it, the Winter Soldier scheme. The Captain Britain shields over there. I guess I'll go downstairs. But also a cool neon sign. I could do that for sure. That'd be fun. 2 of you said neon signs. All right. That's an idea. See, but here's the thing too. Based on how the layout is here, you wouldn't see that sign, right? So that's the other thing too. I was thinking about hanging some props up there, but I'm like, they're not going to be seen on a stream. The things behind me, I hung them up, and I was like, wait, that's what you're going to see on stream every time. But then to make it even more complicated, I started setting up a kind of like nerd corner in the basement, which I don't think I'm going to use for streaming, but I might use it for some pre-recorded stuff. And I'm thinking about hanging stuff down there and then leaving this wall to be something eventually down the road. So a lot of different thoughts have gone through my head on this thing, on this room. But I'm just happy to even have the option of like how to set up a room dedicated to hanging out with you guys and doing all this stuff. So there's my long rant in under 10 minutes on why I have a laser level on a tripod behind me. Going back up, Cutthroat in the house. Good to see you. Skeleton Crew was good, but I think for a younger audience for sure. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure today. Rambling Nerd in the house, who started us on a ramble in the house. We have Marsha in the house, the general of the house de trunk. Good to see you. Dave's the mention in the house. Good to see you. Rambling says, did you see Creature Commandos? Similarly, I thought it was enjoyable, but a couple scenes equals. It's definitely for adults. Also, I'm glad it wasn't a movie. We'll talk about that as well. KO in the house. Good to see you. The Man Collects. Good to see you. It wouldn't appeal to the masses. It's Suicide Squad, but monsters. It is, for sure. By the way, I don't think this is a spoiler. I mean, it isn't. As I'm thinking about the 2 episodes, it's not really a spoiler, I guess. But Creature Commandos does take place after the movies. It does take place after the Suicide Squad movies. I like the t-shirt. There you go. Buffalo Ghostbusters. That's actually 2 streams in a row. I'm wearing Buffalo Ghostbuster t-shirts. I was on Dave's stream. Actually, there's a link to the shirt. I was on Dave's stream this week, rocking a shirt, and then now I'm rocking a shirt. It's funny. I don't know if he's going to be in the chat tonight, but Aaron Waller and I, we'll be on calls together for work, and both at all times are wearing Ghostbuster shirts. And I think he's actually committed to having a Ghostbuster shirt for every day. And I think I'm pretty close behind him on that. Lefties on point tonight. You'll be upset at me. I tossed some lefties.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
I saw this on Instagram, and I wish I could remember who it was from. What is the timeline? What is the official timeline on how long you hang on to, as JB calls them, lefties? I'm going to go real quick. into the chat on this stream. And move that out the way. Move that out the way. Let's see. I'm going into the chat right now because I can't do it on eCam. And I'm going to make a poll. And I'm going to say, what do you call leftovers? Lefties, leftovers, left out. Just going to put it there. And I believe that somebody is going to want to make their case on the lefties. I'm going to attempt to actually... There he is. I was going to do the usual introduction, all that stuff. I hit the wrong button. So unprompted, ladies and gents, we have JB of JB's Toy Trunk in the house. Good to see you, brother. It's been a while. How you doing?
Good seeing you. Can you hear me okay?
Hear you loud and clear.
Okay. The answer to your question, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Hello, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe with all your friends. Make sure you understand lefties, in my opinion, are good until, I guess you could say, the mold starts to grow on it.
So we're going on the visual,
yeah,
as opposed to the like smell or taste. We're just going.
All right. Well, you threw that in there. You threw that in there. Probably the smell and the taste. I'm guessing a week. Weeks usually for me. I know some people. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say some people are like 2 days max, but I'm like a week.
Yeah.
Big guy. Don't like to eat.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a week. I think it's a week as I'm setting up my screens. I'm sorry. I think a week is fine. Dessert, I think you can get by a little longer. I think dessert, 2 weeks, we're like approaching the end, depending on what it is. Do you have a dessert of choice when it comes to the holiday season?
Okay.
Any holiday season.
Holiday season, I like pumpkin pie. I have always liked pumpkin pie.
Okay.
Yeah, but when it comes to like desserts in general, ice cream. Ice cream is the killer for me. Mm-hmm. I could eat ice cream any time of the day, any flavor. I just go in on it. So, what about you?
Well, before I even answer that, and before I keep going down the chat, I feel like I've fallen behind on these rants and rambles that we've been going down the path we've been going down. I can't even put words together here. What were you gonna say?
No, I say I hijacked your channel last week and this week, and we're always talking about food now.
We are. I'm not mad at that. I'm wondering, is it a military thing to be into ice cream as like a dessert of choice? Because I feel like most military people I know, they love ice cream. It's like their weakness.
For me, my personal experience, it's something you don't get too often. So when you have the ice cream, like at basic training, they have all the stuff that the training instructors would eat, and you can never really go to it. So it's just like, ooh, and it's usually like the soft serve ice cream and the cookies and the cakes and stuff. So that might be a psychological thing that they do for the rest of your life. I should get some VA disability for that, saying I just want ice cream now. But that might be it, because like on deployments and stuff, they have in the chow hall, they got a soft serve, and usually everybody's just going to town on it. Wheezing the juice, like Pauly Shore would say.
And yes, in the Army now. Shout out.
Yes, shout out to Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point. It probably is. I'll do a poll with some of my friends, and I'll let you know.
Yeah. I'm curious. You remind me of that. Like it's one of those things that I have these. I call them stoner moments, even when there's no substances involved, where you just get this random thought, and you're like, oh, I wonder about blank. Yeah. And that one just came to my head as you said that. Interesting.
Might be.
Yeah. We'll get through the hellos, and then we'll get to the answer on the poll. We have K-Walk Comedy in the house. Good to see you, Kathy. Nice spot for Shields. It is. It is. Dada Films in the house, who reminded me actually that I didn't promote the show today. He was like, "Oh, you're going live?" And I was like, "Oh, wait. Thanks for a reminder. I got to tell everybody I'm going live." Marsha in the house. I think I said hello, but I say hello again. Cutthroat and Marsha suggested the neon sign. Like I said, the wall's great for that, but you guys wouldn't see it. I feel like that defeats the purpose of it. Marv in the house. Good to see you. I think we got everybody. Oh, Steve in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, I think we got everybody. All right, I'm gonna have to fly down. No offense to anybody. I just made a no-bake cherry cheesecake today. Have you ever had one of those? You just put it in the fridge?
Yeah, I think I've had one of those. Yeah, and again, I'm not a dessert snob by any means either.
Yeah.
Like if it's something put together by, if a kid puts it together and it's good and it's sweet, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
It's just like whatever. Yeah.
Marv says Oregon ice cream with cookie dough ice cream. I don't know what Oregon ice cream is, but all right. So my answer actually for dessert.
Yeah.
It's twofold. Flan, which is a Spanish custard, always been my jam. Day one has been there. So that's always going to have a special place in my heart. I feel like every culture has a dish that like only real ones can make. And I've had a lot of imposter flans over the years. So I'm starting to get a little snobby with it where I'm like, unless it comes out of my mom's house or the giant house that my whole family lives in, they're all on different floors. Unless it's coming out of those two addresses, I'm very like skeptical on flan.
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's good standalone.
So
you can have it like just on its own. No extras. But as far as like the masses, like me giving a chance to like somebody else doing this, French apple pie. So not just regular, but with the crumbles on top and all that. Like love that.
Hunt, if you're listening and watching still, put yours as far as I can't remember if it's apple pie or French apple pie because she is an apple pie. I would say her favorite is apple pie. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Apple pie.
This works, especially because with the French apple pie, they add in like extra cinnamon and stuff, and I feel like there's not as much cinnamon on a standard apple pie.
Do you do the hot pie with vanilla ice cream on it?
Not mandatory, but I would say preferred. I'd say preferred.
Peach cobbler's good too with ice cream.
Ooh, yeah, it is. It is.
Look at us just talking. It's like, well, welcome to the Trunk of Desserts, hosted by HeyArcher.
Yeah, and JV.
Yeah.
Actually, so two stories in my fake military history. I remember. So one of my best friends, Serge, he was because I went to community college before I went to a maritime school, so he was 2 years ahead of me, and he was in the senior class, which at a maritime school, the seniors pretty much rule the land. So while the rest of us are all in uniforms and everything has to be legit, they show up to the mess deck in civvies, doesn't matter, because they're not going to write each other up type of thing. I remember vividly, before we were friends, him and his group coming up to the mess deck and just taking pies. Like they would just walk to the dessert area and just like, oh, pecan pie today? Whole thing. And just walking off. It's like, again, who's going to write them up themselves? Like nobody's going to do that. And then once I became a senior, we started doing all that stuff too. It's just a rite of passage.
I was going to say, it's not so much hazing, but a rite of passage. You've earned that spot to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's very similar, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar with us.
The other one, when you said the soft serve, is I remember going to the mess deck on our ship, and the freshmen had destroyed the ice cream machine, the only one on the ship. Again, soft serve, which we all know is way different than your standard ice cream. They put hot sauce in it. They're like, oh, we're going to make it like strawberry. Alcohol was involved, of course. Shore leave, not on the ship. And they came back and they just put hot sauce in there and it, boom, done.
And they were hated for a while, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. to say the least.
Yeah.
That I just does it. You can. That's why we can't have good things. Is you guys
Exactly.
go do dumb stuff like this.
Yeah. But you know, you're 18, you get drunk in Europe. I mean, you're gonna do dumb shit. I feel like that's just
Yeah.
par for the course.
Very par for the course. Very standard. Very. I'm not saying it's accepted in the culture, but it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
It's gonna. And then you prepare yourself to deal with it, and you give them all the anecdotes, all the stories, all the you better nots and this, and someone's still gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. Marsha
Not
did
not in
say, huh?
oh her apple pie, but not in my ice cream. Don't do things to my ice cream, man. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Because there's certain things you can't come back from. Like you can ruin like a batch of whatever, but you can also like remove those parts, I guess. You know, like if I dumped hot sauce in like, I don't know, in the apple pie, right? Like I could scoop around that and dispose of it and still enjoy it. But once you contaminate the ice cream, especially the soft serve, you're done. It's a wrap.
It's done. You gotta
Yeah.
clean it all out. Try again.
Yeah. Man Collect says Reese's Cups and ice cream. That's also a good mix.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good mix.
You remember Wedding Crashers when Vince Vaughn talks about maple syrup. He
Mm.
likes maple syrup, and he so much that he puts it in his hair to make him feel better.
Yeah.
I say that quote probably once or twice a week with anything. It's like, it makes me feel so good. I'll put it in my hair to make me feel better. And I don't have hair, but I'll still say it.
We have hair. It's there, and it's there. It's there in spirit. You know.
My horrible mustache.
Yeah. You remind me of another thing too. Wedding Crashers on the list of movies that the youth of today don't know about.
I said something from that earlier this week
Mhm.
with some of my coworkers, and the blank stares. It was just like, whew.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you guys suck. I
Yeah.
said it just like that. You guys suck, and they all
Yeah.
looked at me. I was like, no, you really do.
The Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Will Ferrell, like 10 years, like undefeated in as far as like college movies type of things go. And the kids of today, they're like, oh, we're gonna chill and watch Shrek, or we're gonna chill and watch Minions. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you got to watch the party movies. They're like, but that is the party movie. I'm like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? Old school. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Crazy.
You're my boy. You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah. I love that. That movie, like, I feel like even like Animal House, that's another one that they have no clue. No clue. It's offensive.
Yeah, none. No. Yeah. They're like, you guys watch this? It's like, yeah. And they're like, I had someone say, I forgot what movie it was. It was something with the not so much, yeah, I guess the CGI. Like, oh, it's so old and it's so dated. I was like, this is from the early 90s. What do you want?
Yeah.
Like, but how did you watch that? I'm like, how are you in my face right now? Go away.
Yeah, get out of here, kid.
Get out of here. Go find a clue.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, what's that? Freaking kids.
What's that? What's that?
Rambling says he's trying to change topics here.
Yeah, yeah.
These army guys always try to take over the stream. He says, any toy collectors, not you, he was in the army.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Any toy collectors in here have thoughts on the Ben Affleck Batman hot toy? Sal and I were discussing the Affleck suit in the Flash movie, and it makes us appreciate Dawn of Justice and the Zack Snyder Justice League suits. What are your thoughts on that? Have you seen that?
I did see one or two pictures of it. I like it. I've always kind of liked it. And I know I'm not a popular fan vote, but I'm pretty easy to please. A little dark, very mysterious. But yeah, I did see one or two pictures. I like it. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the head sculpt on this is really, really good. Like I think that's what hooks me the most with hot toys at times is the human head sculpts. They really nail these at times, and it's most of the time.
Yeah, when I got the Iron Man, was it the Iron Man 3, the Tony Stark head sculpt, and when I did the review on it, it reminds me of this what you're showing right now. It's just the details. It's like a baby Affleck head, but like if it was real.
Yeah,
looks good.
The only thing that concerns me with anything non-Iron Man when it comes to Hot Toys is you can't really hold a dynamic pose too long because then you risk not only creases, but the suit's breaking.
Yeah.
It's my number one concern.
My Ahsoka, like when I just started working with the articulation, like her arm, I think it's her arm, it's a little bit of that exposed skin. I just tried moving it a little bit and I was like, you know what, if I leave it like in this, this pose or whatever it is, it's definitely going to wear. So I kind of had her a vanilla pose, kind of relaxed with her leg up, and it looks good on the shelf the way it is. But you're right. That's one big thing with like even my Mondo, they should be good because it's a different type of, material and plastic, but only time will tell with those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cutthroat asked if we hazed them. We did not.
Deny everything.
Yeah.
Nope.
That was one of those scenarios where, even if I knew the answer, I don't think it happened, but there was plenty of other things. There were plenty of other things for sure. Creativity from the future. Good to see you. Anthony had put the link in there. Dada says Blizzards from Dairy Queen. I think I've only had that once, and it was very memorable. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the whole ice cream thing, and then you add something like a fast food drive-through like Dairy Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and like how the man collects said, peanut butter cup. So I get the peanut butter cup Blizzard all the time, man.
Yeah.
It's just calories on top of calories. But like I said, put it in my hair, make me feel good.
Up here, they there's another name for it. I can't remember. I was going to say grinders, but it's not a grinder. But they sell them at a lot of ice cream stores. They just can't call it a Blizzard for copyright reasons.
Right.
But back in New York, I don't remember that being a thing. Up here in Massachusetts, very much a thing.
When we lived on Long Island, there was a Carvel down by us, and man, it was flying saucer city, like almost every other day.
Yeah,
love the Carvel.
Yeah, they do well. There's a spot up here. Actually, it's not by me anymore because I moved, and I swore off of it just for like I just couldn't bring myself to say I ever went there, and I finally did. It was delicious, and I had gone back again, and I was ashamed every time. But it was an ice cream store called Daddy's Dairy, and I was like, I can never walk into that store. I can never walk in that store, and I did, and it was delicious. It was great.
Daddy went to town.
Yeah, exactly.
Daddy went to town.
The best part too about Daddy's, I'm like doxing myself here. The best thing about Daddy's Dairy too was it was across the street from a garbage dump, so it just helps like drive the like crappiness you have when you eat way too much ice cream. That you're like, I shouldn't be doing this. This is not normal. And you're just looking at a garbage dump and you're like, yeah, this all just kind of makes sense.
So on top of the taste buds, the psycho-emotional, the visuals, and it's just really just driving it home. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only other time I felt like food shame, but I was, again, I wouldn't change anything for the world. Actually, outside of the last detail here, my friend and I, we decided to go to Taco Bell. And this was like completely sober. Like, I'm never ashamed to admit I will go to town on some Taco Bell sober. I don't need any alcohol to order enough Taco Bell to feed a family. Like, that's standard for me. It was like a Friday night. We were bored. Again, men in their 30s at the time. We're going to go to Taco Bell. So we drive. This was like not even like near us. We had to drive like 30 minutes to get to this thing. Get there, order all the food, and it was cold outside. And we were like, we could either wait till we drive back to the house because we live next to each other. We could drive back to the house and like watch movies and drink bourbon and eat the Taco Bell, or just eat it now. So we left the Taco Bell, went across the street to a hardware store parking lot that was just empty. This was after hours, and just sat in his car and like fogged up the windows eating all this Taco Bell. And the part of the story I wish I could change, and we both agreed to this. We wish to God that a cop had shown up and been like, because it was like midnight. Like, what is happening in there?
With the whole flashlight.
Yeah. It's just like, Yeah.
Is that a chalupa?
Yeah.
Get that chalupa out your mouth.
Exactly.
Drop the burrito.
Drop the
Step
burrito.
away. Yeah. So, you bring that up, and at Retro Toy Convention, which was a blast, by the way.
Yeah, talk about that. Floor is yours. Talk about it.
Well, Big Dub, myself, Bite Size Geek, Dave was with us, Steve was with us. I think that was it. There was about 5 of us. And we went to, it was like midnight. Hey, let's go to the Waffle House. And in Georgia, Waffle House is supposed to be open. Not Georgia. We're in Greenville. I'm sorry, Greenville, South Carolina. So it's supposed to be open. But of course, where Dub is in Georgia, it's always open past a certain time. I'm talking about the dining room. We get to this Waffle House, dining room's closed. And then, of course, he starts getting upset. He's like, what do you mean? We're going to order here, eat at the window? There's no way. Just imagine at your car, eating waffles and things like that. So we go down the street to another Waffle House, and it's the same thing over and over again. He's like, what's with South Carolina and these Waffle Houses that you can't eat in? And then we ended up at a Jack in the Box. So 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning after, for me, I was up for almost 18 hours at that time, almost 20 hours really, and throwing down on some Jack in the Box, either breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever's on the menus open at a Jack in the Box. So that was a pretty interesting night, but a fun night. But you're right. It's 5 dudes in 2 different cars, toy guys, talking toys, saying, hey, where are we going? And then 1 o'clock in the morning, we're eating, Jack in the Box. You got to do it.
Yeah.
I think, because I know eventually we're gonna meet up, and I think that would be pretty epic because Dub goes to a lot of great restaurants. Me and the wife, we love restaurants, and I'm sure you like a good restaurant. So I think that would definitely be a part of the vlog of us eating.
I've actually never been to Jack in the Box.
It's good. I mean, if there's good burger joints out there that have more than just burgers, it's fine.
It's passable.
But it's good. And it's usually a 24-hour type place. It's like in Vegas. I know in Vegas when I was out there many times that we'd stop at the Jack in the Box at 5 a.m. So yeah.
And shout out to General Kenobi's bunker.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, talk to everybody about Retro Toy Con here.
So if you guys are vintage and retro collectors, and again, you could see Steve right here playing Excite Bike, and there's Chris the Man Collects, and he's got a great video out there. This was just a great time. A lot of the conventions that we've been fortunate to go to over these past couple years, very community driven, no animosity toward anything. Of course, there's people out there trying to get theirs.
Yeah.
But when you circle yourself around with good friends, good dudes, and the families are collecting, my granddaughter's going, my wife's going, it's such a great time. And there's a Scooby-Doo set that me and the wife passed on that we should have picked up. And then some of these things aren't even at the outrageous prices. Of course, there's grails out there, but I mean, you got double dragon right there, and you got some Lucy's. I mean, Dub picked up on loose Play School, loose Playmate TMNTs for like $5 a piece or something like that. So you're going to find good stuff out there. And of course, it has a good mix of modern. So Ryan with the Toy Federation, he screens and chooses these vendors selectively. It's like you have to have retro and vintage to pretty much get here because that's the focus. And of course, he does have an allotment for modern. So yeah, and there's Ryan right there with Toy Federation. Yeah. So yeah, it was a great time. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those where, like I was saying in your comments, I was like, this place is dangerous. I mean, like if anybody's remotely a G.I. Joe fan and they come across a flag in the box, I mean, like how do you not try to make moves on that if you have the room for it, especially? Well, and if you didn't have it as a kid.
Yeah, you're right, because I didn't. And after this little scene right here and that night, and I don't know if my wife's listening, but I was like, should I go into O-Ring and get a flag? Because I've never had it. My mom, who's 74 years old, still remembers. She's like, Jay, we never bought you that thing because it was so big. And I'm like, this was just a conversation a couple months ago. And I was like, I know, Mom. She goes, but it was really nice. And I was like, holy crap. My mom's like props to this GI Joe flag that
Yeah.
would have took up all of base housing basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So, and then this conversation's right here. Dub asks Steve, and he's like, "Would we get that flag? We all take turns laying down on it."
Yeah.
And it's kind of joking, kind of laughing. It's like, "Ooh, we could start doing dances on it, and then
Yeah.
party at Dub's house,
Yeah.
dancing on the flag." But yeah,
Cutthroat asked if you saw any $1 Million Men toys. I'm guessing like
probably.
Bionic Man, $1 Million Man. Is that what?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
yes.
talking about?
The answer is yes. If he's talking about God, what's the actor's name? Not Colt
Steve.
Seaver from Fall Guy. Steve.
And I said Bionic Man. I meant Bionic Woman. God, Steve.
Oh man, tip of my tongue, because while I was there was someone, because he played the Fall Guy too, right? Colt Seaver, the same guy we're talking about, Bionic Man. Is that what you're talking about?
I think the old
he did
from the 70s.
Yeah. So he played both, and when at Second Chance Toys, they had a bunch of lunch pails, and the guy
Lee
picked
Majors.
Lee Majors.
Yeah.
Lee Majors. You said it. He had the guy picked up right next to me. He picked up a Fall Guy lunch pail. I was like, oh yeah, Colt Seaver, Lee Majors.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about the Bionic Man and of course Bionic Woman. But yeah, you can dip into lines you never thought. And yeah, I mean, this right here, man, it was just sitting right here on my desk.
Oh man,
I did it.
Hang on, don't move yet. That's awesome.
I just, it was there. It was there next to some chips. Some chips, like John
like
and
the
Punch
cops
on a bike. Yeah,
that's
like
hilarious. Oh, yeah, you got Murdoch too. Oh my god,
it was all four and the van. And Ryan had. I said, I just want the figures. He's like, it's a bundle deal. He's like, just give me the van.
You got the van too?
Up, but yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm waiting for the Rev, from Ace and Ramatoy. That's these guys.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I was like, oh, that will go great with their van. Yeah.
I mean, so again, when you guys follow Seth and watch his retro adventures going into Demolition Man, which Demolition Man and lines like that, me and the wife are like, yeah, we get a Demolition Man. So we're at Toylanta last year, and he just reaches up and grabs it right in front of me, just like, oh man, be patient, because you're right, these places are dangerous. We didn't go in with a list of things other than Beetlejuice, Mars Attacks, and Jim. And out of the three, we did pick up some Mars Attacks, and the wife, she crushed it with picking up some Jim.
Yeah.
Two gem dioramas and a doll for her. So it's like, hey, and outside of that, hanging out with good people, just like you guys. And just when Chris comes down, the man collects, and for the few hours we were hanging out, and he could tell you, man, it was such a good time.
Yeah.
If any of you guys in the comments and watching and watching it on replay, you guys, Toylanta, I think this year's Toylanta, it might be dangerous. I mean, we're plugging it left and right. It's it's a hub. You could fly straight into Atlanta most places, and it's good area. Lot to do. Hotel's nice, and the venue this year is a lot bigger than it was last year. So
yeah, Toylanta and Dragon Con are two reasons to go to Atlanta in the nerd space for sure.
100%.
And I have a free place to stay because my dad lives in Atlanta, so I got really try to make
that's
it happen.
right. We were messaging the other day, yeah. And hopefully you can, man. I know the guys from Florida are coming up. We're coming this way. The guys in Georgia are there, and of course we got guys from New York coming down. I think Ron Century, the Mad Collector, he should be coming down, and we're trying to get Oleg, Mr. Fantastic, to come down with. So that'd be just blast.
Yeah, and collects. He's going there.
Oh yeah, he's going. Yeah.
Cutthroat was saying that he's been looking for some cops and crooks, hard to find. I think in relation to the $1 Million Man figures, or is it that also separate line?
Well, it's a different line, but yeah, they had cops and crooks. So a couple different vendors had it. So again, I've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to see at these events, you know.
Yeah. Rolando in the house. Good to see you. And something that a lot of us have talked about, and I feel like we don't get it out there as much because there's only so many of them, but like local toy stores. Like there's a lot of local toy stores, if you look them up in your area, Google search, that exist that you don't know about. They're in parts of town that like you probably don't go to at times, and you'll find some really dope stuff at those places. But you gotta search for them. And our other friend Billy, who's been on the show before, he's mentioned like, yeah, at some toy stores, will you spend an extra $5 or $10 maybe on a current release figure? Sure, but there's going to be tons of things there that you probably forgot about, you may have been looking for, that you can get for amazing prices.
100%. You know, when I got back into collecting and talking with Man Cave, and he, you know, when we were up there shopping in the Charlotte area, it's like we all agree, or we agreed, when you do spend maybe $3 to $5, maybe even $10 more on a newer figure, whatever, you're supporting these local businesses.
Yeah.
Because we need these comic shops to stay open. We need these toy shops to stay open because there's only so much you could do at Walmart and Target.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can only, I mean, Ross and Ollie's. Okay, that's all great and everything, but it's like, I want to go in and find me a Cops and Crooks.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way, there's the new G.I. Joe I was looking for also, or whatever it is. You know, and then they got comics in the back. Hey, let's go ahead and pick up Comic Day, you know, Saturdays or whatever it is. So it's something, and it's a community, because usually around that they'll have sometimes, you know, swap meets or toy shows or, you know, open tables and stuff like that. So it keeps everything fresh instead of, hey, did you see that NECA debacle up on the shelf? Or, hey, did you see that overpriced Black Series figure with one lightsaber? So it's refreshing to go to these good cons, and of course, like how you were getting at these local stores. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I said hi to Rolando already, so I'll say hello again just in case. Good to see you, Universal Mod. Let me close out the poll, and let's see what everybody said there. If I can figure out how to use the screen. Did I do it? We did it. And the answer was leftovers.
So out of the 14, 21%, and if my wife did play, me or put lefties.
Yeah.
So we're the ones. Yeah, we're the ones.
Yeah. We'll stay on toy stuff, and then maybe at the end I'll cover a couple of the TV show things. I don't remember the answer to this question, and I say this line a lot because so many of you awesome collectors that are in our group chats and stuff. Did you get the HasLab? Did you go in on the Ectomobile?
Did I? No. I really wanted to. I really wanted to, and I sitting right here next to it was because I already got the 1/18th scale, and I knew these
nice.
O-rings.
Yeah.
So this is my, again, Ghostbusters, probably top 5, top 10 movie. I love it. I'm not a nerd buster. I'm never going to pretend.
You're honorary.
Right, but I'm never going to pretend to be, but I do love it. And, when at these shows, there's so many but, this right here, I was like, let me give it a shot. Get these 4 into the Ecto one that I have, and, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And put it on the shelf and call it good. Considering, I have so many different lines I have to maintain, because it's going to be JB's toy garage. I got 2 vans coming, a tank, the Rattler. I still haven't even busted out my Dragonfly yet. So,
oh, that's right. Yeah, you have the Dragonfly. It's this is the second time now where I've run into this issue with something Hasbro's doing, and then pop this up here. He was going to until he saw the dragon. That's right.
And last night over the big bowl of chili, which I had lefties of chili today, but I, my wife's looking at me and she's like, "How big's this thing?" And I'm like, I'm putting out my arms this way. I got a 72-inch wingspan, right? So I'm like out here. And I was like, it's just an inch shorter than this.
Yeah. That's like 4. I went into wrestling on this one. Oh no, did it go by a different name?
Yeah,
on
Four Horsemen
Instagram?
Studios.
Oh, there's, yeah.
4 Horsemen Studios, yeah.
Did they put it up here?
It's up there. That and
there it is.
Oh dear. You watch we watch Art G's coverage of it, and Dubs and all these other guys. I think it's just everybody just stops talking. just wow.
Yeah, it's sick. I mean, this picture obviously doesn't do it any justice. Like, there's no way. But hopefully it helps you guys when I say, as you can see in the description here, and as JB mentioned, this thing's 6 feet long. 6 feet long. What is your bet on how much that thing's going to cost?
We were talking about that at Retro. We're thinking somewhere in the sixes.
You think sixes?
Yeah, 5, 6s. I hope it's not 6. I hope it's more 4 or 5. But it's articulated everywhere. So yeah,
I was about to say that. Literally about to say that.
You could go 72 inches this way, but at the same time, like I was telling my wife, you can go ahead and bring the neck up this way. You can bring the tail in this way. You can bring the wings. I think it's either separate wings or they actually, can go down or go up for room. So
yeah,
you can bring it down a little bit, but I mean, it's, get 3 or 4 dragons. We're good.
Yeah, that thing's crazy. Porkins in the house. Good to see you. It's yeah. The amount of videos I've watched on this thing, everybody says the same thing and everybody's right. And I'll never get tired of hearing people say it, but like, we just don't have any good dragon figures. The last thing I can remember that came out that people got excited for was when McFarlane announced his dragons that were ending up in Walmart. And then people saw them. And they're just like, this is crap. This is not what I want.
You're talking about the ones over the past 2 years that he released?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you mean the ones at Ross for $3.99? No, for real, they're at Ross right now, showing up. I
didn't even know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, if I find one, I'm grabbing one. I'm bringing it to work, put it on my desk.
Yeah, yeah. But no, this is what you needed.
Yeah. Everyone needs that. You need one. I mean, your Ghostbusters need to fight a dragon, man. Go ahead and line up.
Listen, don't be trying to get me in trouble.
Hey, we're all enablers. I forgot someone's putting out a video, I think either now or soon. It's calling us enablers. Of course he's right.
Yeah.
We all enable each other.
Yeah. And then this is what I was talking about earlier, where when you showed the toys, I was like, oh, you probably bought them for this. And even Cutthroat said he ordered a couple aviation figures from Ramen. I gotta dive into the Ramen figures for sure at some point. But going to the HasLab, I've just jumped like 4 different topics. But with the HasLab, that was the second time a HasLab has come across the table where I was almost guilt tripped into buying it because I didn't want the line / concept to end with that release. Now, previously it was Giant Man. Giant Man I wanted to back, not because I needed a Giant Man, but I was like, there should be more $200-ish price point HasLabs. Like, they all don't have to be $400, $500. Like, they need to do some more affordable type things. Then with this one, I was like, I don't want the line to die. I was like, I wanted it to succeed and I wanted to get it only because I wanted the line to continue. I didn't want to. I didn't have room for it. I don't have room for this. It's not even in the budget at the moment, but I was like, I just don't want the line to die. And they almost got me, but luckily it's still backed. Others have to go down to Anthony's house and see it.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It's definitely something. If I had room for it, I'd probably get it. I really would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Good old guilt. Yeah. Actually, Kenobi almost got me today. He almost got me with some guilt today. because we've both been talking about this for a while. Let's see if I can search it. I'm hoping he bought it. The Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron. The Ghost is on sale. If it's still in stock.
Dude. And that's a line I love too. And I stuck to just chases just because of that whole excitement of finding a chase. You know, so but they're wonderful, man. I have two bigger I have the Falcon and Boba Fett ship, Slave One out. And those are the only two big micros that I picked up. Everything else is just a smaller, chase or something like that.
But I mean, this was $30.
Dude, get it.
Yeah. But I gotta find a spot. Like, that's the thing too. I want to have the ability to buy ships and display them properly. And like, not just for photography, but I'm like, I want all these vehicles. I want them all out. I don't want to build a stack. That's what's been stopping me.
But it's a ship that flies.
It'll just
all the room up. Yeah,
that's
all
true.
The room in the ceiling.
That is true. And downstairs, I have all the joists.
There you go.
I have all the joists.
There you go. Like I want to hang more in my room, but then of course I don't want it to be one of those rooms where you got to kind of duck and.
Weren't you relocating in the house? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, we still are. The dining room downstairs turned into my office once I retired. You know, the whole military I love me office. I got my flag and I got my medal.
Yep.
All the medals, whatever, plaques. And then I was like, you know what? I'm never in this thing. After COVID, I stopped working out of there. And I was like, let's go ahead and just start putting things. So I started putting some of the Funko Pops that I had down there. I was like, you know what? Let me put the G.I. Joe down here. And then that's what we're doing, a garage shelf. The custom garage shelf. So heavy duty, 24 inches deep, 48 inches wide.
Yep.
But then we're going to do the plexiglass and everything like that. So kind of like, was that Austin? Yeah. And I've seen those before, but I've been thinking about it for a while. So wife said, go ahead and do that. So yeah.
Yeah. I have a bunch of those downstairs currently just holding stuff, but I want to either buy some more or eventually work all that other stuff off so I can use them for display purposes. They're good. They are good. Porkins mentioned here, he went with Tobin's Spirit Guide, and I think I've shown this on stream before. Magnolia Props, I believe, is their website. They make like realistic looking props, and they have it was just here, Tobin's Spirit Guide from Ghostbusters. And what's fun about this version is Tobin's is if people don't know, it's a book in the Ghostbusters world that teaches everybody about like ghosts and spirits and stuff. They took and they made a version of it, but as you go through the book, what they ended up doing was incorporating pop culture stuff into it. And as you go through the book, it's like an actual like readable book. Like it's not just random blank pages or random words. Like they actually like put real thought into this thing and like wrote out something.
It's not just a prop.
It's not just a prop.
It's not just a prop.
Yeah. And what they did here was they only showed you the Ghostbusters related stuff, but it's 500 pages. And there's things in here like information about gremlins, informations about stuff from Ash and Evil Dead, all sorts of things. I don't want to spoil all of them, but all sorts of movie stuff where they take what was in the movie and then apply it as though it was real life in this book. And then you can buy two different versions. You can buy one that looks brand new, and then there's also one that looks aged, where when you open it, the pages have stains on them, and the cover has stains on it. So when Porkins said he bought this over buying the Ecto, I'm like, I kind of would want to do that too. Like I have this thought of in the nerd space having like a stand. I can't think of anything else that would go on the stand other than a Bible, but like a
Yeah.
Bible stand where the book is just on its own,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's there. Like,
Yeah.
that's up my alley.
Yeah. You come in and what's the one book that Doctor Strange reads out? Out of
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
always
yeah.
reading out of things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
Or Scarlet Witch and she's reading her book. So
Yeah, Book of the Dead or something like that, or Damned.
but yeah, that's perfect. Coffee table book. It's a conversation piece, especially if you have friends from the same, like nerd friends and
Yeah,
people who know that and the same common themes. It's like, hey, did you check out my Tobins? And having a couple drinks, talking about that and stuff. So that's awesome, man.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. His wife got it for him for Christmas. It's great.
Oh, dude.
And
That's a heck of a
Cutthroat is thanking you for your service. So there you
Well,
go.
thank you.
Thank you for your
Cutthroat.
service.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, that's right. Geek Strong in the house. Good to see you. But just to knock out a couple TV show things,
Sure.
have you watched either Skeleton Crew or the I keep forgetting the name of it, the one that dropped today for DC? Creature Commandos. Have you seen either?
Skeleton Crew, no. Creature Commandos, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was trying to come up with
fair answer. Fair answer.
because I was trying to come up with something stupid for Skeleton Crew. Like, what are you talking? I was like, I know what it is, and no, I haven't seen that. But what's this other one? I'm not being sarcastic. What's this other one you said?
Yeah, so Creature
Commandos?
Commandos, it dropped today. It is technically
Oh, okay.
the first DC thing purely in the James Gunn universe of
Right.
DC.
Okay.
And it's like Anthony said earlier today in the stream, it's Suicide Squad, but with creatures, essentially. Fun watch. If you get a chance, I feel like even with this one, you don't really need to know that much about DC.
Mm-hmm.
2 episodes dropped today. Fun watch. 3.5 out of 5.
I like that style of animation right there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What about 30, 45 minutes?
Even better, 24.
Episode? Oh, dude, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because again, I haven't been watching anything except for YouTube either at work or on a break and then on the way home listening to something. So 24, I can do that,
Mm-hmm.
I can do that easily.
Yeah, easy watch. Easy watch. But if you want a movie, you should watch the last Suicide Squad movie. That's actually pretty good. The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I seen that one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, first one's terrible. Second one's good.
The first one's very terrible, but for some reason I'm a terrible movie lover. You know what I mean? I mean I was flipping through Tubi and was it Death Race 2000 was on. I was like, do I need to watch that? Do I need to watch that again? I almost did. And it's just like, why am I watching this? And, when I'm watching a guilty pleasure off of Tubi has all of them in there. I'm just like, oh, I got to write this one down and talk about it. And it's just like,
yeah,
I watched so many of them. I forgot, I forgot what I watched. They're what it is. Death Race 2000.
I have on my, I think it's Amazon list, Amazon Prime, the digital streaming, not to buy it. I have on there Brotherhood of the Wolf, which was like this terrible like French martial arts movie from back in like the 90s. And I think it's in French. It's been so long since I've seen it. I remember there's French speaking in it. It's one of those that like it's so bad, but I remember as a kid being like, "Oh, this is so cool," because I think they turn into werewolves at some point. Like, oh my god, this is amazing martial arts and werewolves and they're French. What? Like this is crazy. It's like it's on there to watch, but I just can't bring myself to like I'm gonna kill 2 hours watching this. I know is terrible movie.
Yeah. I fell asleep to over the weekend Revenge of the Ninja, which is kind of like the sequel to Enter the Ninja. So Enter the Ninja is my jam. Enter the Ninja it's about the white ninja versus the black ninja, and the white ninja is an actual white guy. Yeah. Yep. So is that the one? Yeah. No, is that? Yeah.
This is
that's
from
it.
1983.
Yeah. Dude, I was like, this is so bad. But he's a I forgot the guy's name. He's a badass. Because he's a ninja.
This is yeah.
He's a ninja.
Actually, I don't know him. Sho Kasugi.
Kosugi, yeah. And I know him because he was in Enter the Ninja, which is the second one on the left there.
1981.
Yeah.
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 It's hilarious. Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, that's Enter the Ninja's my jam. Just yeah.
Well,
Love it.
when you said ninja and falling asleep, I immediately thought of Ninja Assassin, and sure enough, he's in Ninja Assassin apparently. Going full circle here, actually.
Uh-oh.
I back in the day, for all the youth that may be watching, I know you guys aren't, but in case you are watching the replay, we had these things called the Microsoft Zune, which was Microsoft's answer to the iPod. And you could load it with, movies and stuff. And on there, I had Ninja Assassin. And I remember starting it when I was on one of the boats I worked on. And I just couldn't bring myself. I was like, this is terrible. I can't do it. So you fast forward, I'm flying home and there was a delay on a flight. I flew into Atlanta and then my flight got canceled. And I was like, I'm just going to sleep in the airport. Because my dad was going to pick me up, but at the time he lived further from Atlanta. And I was like, nah, because by the time we get here, we go back to your house, turn around, it's not worth it. I'm just going to sleep in the airport. Like, I don't care. And to fall asleep, I turned on Ninja Assassin on my Zune. And that thing was instant. Absolutely instant.
Instant sleeping pills. Just
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, these are all we grew up on these guilty pleasures, these B movies and stuff like that, Toxic Avenger and
Yep.
like Porkin said, Big Trouble in Little China. It's like, okay, so that's a good movie, but it's like it's a bad movie.
Wow, I forgot about this one.
Escape from LA. Oh, Blind Fury. Oh, that dude was that guy. I thought he was blind for real.
I did too.
Because I was, and I still kind of am the gullible guy, like around smarter friends. And they're like, yeah, Jay, he's really blind. Oh, okay, yeah. Like, the Beastmaster, the whole time my friends are saying, did you know he's actually blind? I was like, no, he is? I was like, yeah. Like, okay.
Beastmaster is on the list of like Saturday morning TBS movies. Like you turn on TBS as a kid or TNT because again, back in the old days, you didn't have streaming. So you're just subject to whatever's on. It's like Beastmaster, like the Blue Lagoon, all these like random ass movies for no reason that they just like kept on looping over and over again.
Yeah. Beastmaster.
I'm down to risk a copyright strike on the Blind Fury trailer if you do want to watch it.
I mean, it's up to you. We could just don't we have to just keep talking about it as it's playing and pause it? And I don't know. I don't know all the rules on that.
They're getting pretty good at it. There's one time where they were like, the 10 seconds of this thing is causing you to lose monetization on this one video. I'm like, wow, my God.
Jabronis.
I'll risk it on it. But good night,
my wife's
Marsha.
going to bed.
She's leaving
Good night.
We'll wrap pretty soon.
Yeah, I'll be up at 3 too.
Yeah, you are an early riser.
Yeah.
Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. Yep.
Yeah.
Universal
Soldier. So he said Dolph Lundgren is going to He-Man Masters of the Universe. Is that good?
I still think that movie's passable. I think it's still passable.
Do too.
Yeah.
It's a hard passable, but it's still passable.
You know what's crazy was Mattel was making the movie line, and that Skeletor is absolutely amazing. Do you remember that one?
Are you talking about Masterverse or the one from a couple years ago?
A couple years ago, yeah. In Target?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was actually that was in my top 20 last year when it came out. Yeah. I love that figure.
Yeah. It's a shame that they could not get Dolph's likeness for that He-Man. I feel like that alone killed that wave or that line.
Yeah.
But
they're doing good now. They're doing good now sticking with the classics.
Yeah. But that one was so good. But here we have the official trailer, 1080p version of 1989's Blind Fury, starring Rutger Hauer. Didn't even know that was his name.
Oh yeah.
Who I know him from Hobo with a Shotgun. That's my movie.
Oh man, I hadn't seen that. God, I mean, that was a one-timer for me. That was years ago.
But it's a good
It was a good
one-timer.
one.
It's a good
Yeah.
one-timer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But other people might say Blade Runner and all these other good movies. But I'm a Hobo with a Shotgun. All right.
Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie. Let's give it a shot.
Nick Parker is quick as a snake, strong as a bull, not to mention blind as a bat.
Nice doggy. What's your problem? You blind? Yeah.
Holy sh! He came for a friendly visit,
Step aside, blind man.
but his timing was a little off. Now, a young boy wants his guidance.
Did you ever cry?
The strong man is never afraid to cry. They've got him, don't they?
Where's my son?
He's here. He's fine.
And the boy's father needs his help.
Now, if you want to keep him that way,
Unreasonable.
I'm sorry. This looks like it's a spoof. Like it's not meant to be a real movie.
Yeah. But this trailer was in theaters. Like you'd be,
Yeah.
you know, in '89. We could be watching Batman.
You
Think
could,
about it.
yeah.
You could have been getting ready to watch Keaton Batman, the blockbuster of the century.
Yeah.
And before he comes on, you got Rutger Hauer over. Nice doggy.
Yeah.
He steps over the kid. Nice doggy.
But you know, after the movie, we'd be saying who would win in a fight, Bruce Wayne or Blind Fury.
Yeah, of course.
Blind Fury wins all day.
Blind Fury.
Make life so difficult. Shoot!
the blind Zorro. If you can't handle it, get me somebody that can. Get me Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee is dead.
Then get his brother.
Rutger Hauer.
I also do circumcision.
Blind Fury.
He's a moil. He's a moil.
That's great.
Not only am I Blind Fury, I'm also the moil.
That makes me like Hobo with a Shotgun even more, because they definitely use that for motivation on the trailer for Hobo with a Shotgun before you watch Machete. Oh my God.
Yeah. But yeah, movies like this, come on.
Yeah. Like Patrick said here, and shout out to Patrick, I didn't say hi earlier. They don't take chances on movies like this anymore. Like they wouldn't be able to do it.
Thank you. You're right. 100%. I mean, I think a lot of the A24 movies, they try to take those chances, and some of them are really good.
Yeah.
And, I like a lot of those movies. And, of course, I'm a Tarantino fan because I get it. And, they say, oh, you have to watch it 2 or 3 times. It's like, hey, I'm fine with that, because movies that have these layers, that's what's great about movie. You could actually layer it up or make it like that.
Yeah.
Make it like Blind Fury. So
yeah. No, and shout out to Book of Ezekiel with Denzel Washington. Because you didn't know he was blind till the end of the movie.
Good stuff, man.
What a twist. What a twist.
Oh. Dun dun dun.
Any other things you want to cover before we wrap on today's episode?
No, other than, it's been a heck of a year. I can't believe it's already December.
Yeah.
There's been it came and went so quick, and just these toys and these different lines and the prices and NECA issues, and it's just I think my biggest thing is going into the new year with and people do it all the time, a little bit more focus. I got to focus more.
Yeah.
And I've already started that focus a couple months ago, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be an interesting year, and I think I want to do more cons than anything.
Nice.
they are expensive, and that,
Yeah.
that they, and
But it's
just
the
get out
experience.
there, and it's the experience. And if I didn't have such a demanding and full-time job, I said it early this year. I want to do more lives.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I do these lives, I don't want to cut into General Kenobi. I don't want to cut into you. And at the same time, I haven't even done one live on my own yet. And I don't think I'm going to this year because I'm just so busy. But if I were to have that chance, I want to, these conversations, these talks, and talking about, people collecting, why did they collect, and just more of the personal aspect of it,
Yes.
and how we're all affected by it, because toy hunts are fun, and I don't ever want to stop it because I'm always going to do them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do eventually want to start doing so much an informal interview, 18, 25-minute short. And I'm not even talking about live. I'm talking about at someone's house or a meetup in Myrtle Beach in New York. Because these other cons, and I did my third video from Joe Fest where I'm talking to Ace, and I'm talking to Spiro Toys, and I'm talking to Savage Crucible, and I'm talking to some of these other collectors. I'm finding little pockets of stories that if I had enough time, I think I have the gift of the gab where I can elaborate a little bit more and come up with something interesting, not just for me, but for other people. And maybe one day, maybe one day, because you do it really well. You do it really well. And sooner or later. So what's your favorite dessert?
I tell everybody, just do it.
Yeah, just like a Nike, just do it. But
just do it.
My first question for you. Thanks for taking the time. Lefties or leftovers? This interview's done, man. This interview's done. Bye.
But I tell everybody, just go for it. Just like start doing them, even if they're not every day or every week or whatever. Like just start doing the lives or doing the podcast thing, because you never know. Like it's one of those things. Like for me, when I started doing lives, they were meant to just like complement the other stuff. And I was like, maybe, I'll try doing them every week, but at some point, maybe it'll be like once a month or something. And then little did I know the live would be like the main thing. And then the other videos are like sprinkled on top, the frosting.
Yeah.
So you never know. And I think one of the things that has made your channel grow so fast and so successfully is people like the person. Because at the end of the day, every toy hunter that drops a video that goes to big box stores sees the same thing. We all see the same thing. Actually, I don't see anything, but you guys apparently see things. But it's the person that makes one hunt video and one hunter stand above others. And I think you have, like you said, the gift of gab, the personality. We like hearing you talk, Man Collects and so many others here.
Yeah.
So like, you doing a video that is just you guys shooting the shit is what people would want to see. People will definitely want to see that.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I might, and going even to more of a root thing is, learning something. Teach me something, because I'm going to talk to Archer about, whatever. But I want to learn something about what you collect and what you're doing, but the root causes of why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because there's always something. I always find that fascinating.
Yeah.
We could talk about A-Team all day, but then it's like, oh, I'm collecting A-Team because of this, that, the other. So, I don't know. Maybe like how you said, just do it. You're right, because someone said just do it just under 3 years ago when I started the channel.
Yeah. There you go.
And so we'll see.
So two final questions, and these might be harder questions to answer. First one, do you have a top figure of the year? And it doesn't have to be the top figure of the year, because I know, like, I only realized the other day, I was watching Tested, and I'm probably going to steal this from them. And every year they do a best things of the year, and each member of the Tested producing team and the hosts, they all do like 20 minutes of like, here are the 5 things I purchased this year that I love. And some people do like toy and collector based things. Other ones do like, I learned today that there's a gun from Milwaukee that is a soldering iron that also auto feeds solder. And I'm like, I need that. And I learned it from videos like that. But nonetheless, they don't rank the things. Like, this is my number one. So I'm just curious, do you have like a top toy that would make your top 5? And if it happens to be your number one, even better. But for the year of 2024.
Yeah, I know I do, and I've been thinking about that, knowing because everybody's people are putting it out now. Oh, December, like how you're saying, my top. I'm trying to remember what I picked up this year.
That's the hard part.
Up a ton. If I'm gonna say like on the premium level, I think if I did get the Mark III Iron Man hot toy, that's pretty good. So and then going backwards, some of the Mythic Legions actually are really, really awesome. And so man, I really, and when it comes to the basic big box, our standard stuff, I really can't say, man. I'm looking, actually, I opened this guy up just the other day, but as basic as it is,
yeah,
they
nailed
this
that
really right here.
Yeah.
It's everything that, it's tight. I like the paint on it. I like, of course, the vac metal mask. It's $24 and it's Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
How could I not put that or consider that at the top? Okay. And then probably the line of the year, maybe, or considering line of the year, I'm going to say Jada, like the Street Fighter.
Out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had a feeling they were going to do something good with it. And then, of course, at $24.99, the Bison figure is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So to answer your question without really giving you nothing but a bunch of hot air and wasted 3 minutes, as of this time, not really. But those 3 right there kind of just skimming the top. But I definitely have to work on getting a list out there because we have to. That's our job.
It's our job.
We leave it in a comment. What's your job to put that up there?
Marsha says Tatsu is her favorite.
I was trying to avoid saying that, but
I got to unbox it. I have it there. I have to unbox it. So
I don't think Tatsu should be, for me, it shouldn't be considered, but it's definitely a figure of the year for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Of course. Everybody needs a JB in their life. So Dave was talking about it the other day, and it was on my list. I think at the moment, and I do want to say this, and I don't get to you guys' comments. We give Hasbro a lot of shit, but I feel like, even as you pointed out with that Cobra Commander, like Hasbro is so consistent considering the volume they put out that, like, I feel like we don't also give them enough credit at times for the types of things they put out, the quality. Yeah, sure, there's some misses, but I feel like now as information's out there, as we all learn how the world turns, you look at like the Black Series line, and obviously licensing reasons and cost are why that line is where it is. Because when you see G.I. Joe, where they own the license, and you're like, these are coming out of the same house, it's clear as day as what's happening. But I feel like Hasbro, we give them a lot of crap, but at the same time, with the volume they put out, the fact that you can find pretty much any Hasbro figure you want at some point, you can find it. I feel like we don't give them enough credit. And that all leads into what I think my favorite figure of the year is. Dave said it, and I agreed with him, and I was thinking about this already. The Hasbro Ghost Rider figure on the bike. Considering that thing was only $50, I think, $45. I was like,
and there was some sales. People were lucky enough to grab it on sale at Target. Absolutely,
easy to get. Came with you can display it in many different ways. You can use that bike on other figures. To me, it's in my top 5 of the year, if not number 1, just on value. On value. And that's where I tied into it earlier when I said I want to support the HasLab, because I was like, oh, for value, I want this to continue. I want them to continue the line and all of that. Jada Toys, I think, would be like a company of the year because they just came out of nowhere and they don't put out a lot of stuff, but when they do, everybody's grabbing all of them.
Yeah.
So I'd probably do that.
And well, to look into, forecasting for next year with the Scooby-Doo line that they're going to be putting out, Jada. And I'm just like, oh, ooh, you just got me.
Yeah.
You got me.
They could knock out Super 7 easily. If they expand their licenses, they could knock out Super 7.
And I want to love Super 7. I think there's a lot of us that want to love Super 7.
1,000%.
It's hard.
1,000%.
It's so hard.
1,000%.
When Kyle Peterson's out there and he's getting his Simpsons figure and it's like, I love Simpsons. We all love Simpsons. And it just breaks. You're like, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't survive on that.
He reviewed this week or last week. He put out so many videos. He reviewed the latest Lemmy figure they put out. And the arm broke in mid review. Yeah. And I'm like, this is not only is it like you just dropped another figure that's not even a repaint. You just made new soft goods for a figure that already exists that just dropped this year anyway. Which pisses me off. I'm like, you should do other things along Motorhead or whatever, it is.
Right.
But I can't even trust your figures out the box. Same with NECA. At a certain point, like I can't trust NECA out the box, which hurts with some of the sales. There's other things that hurt the sales.
If you get the right box.
This
is not what I ordered.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Rutger Hauer figures in there. I don't need this.
And I will say this. I sent this to Mega J and I sent it to Mad Hatter because they were talking a lot about this. And then I'll throw a last question at you as I read comments. You can think of the answer. I have been screwed by NECA. They've also helped me out. So for example, in the help me out category, I ordered the Kino, your cousin.
Yeah.
I ordered the Kino pizza box.
He didn't say hi to me. He didn't say hi to me at Retro.
I was waiting for a cameo on the video. When I saw he was there, I got excited. It didn't happen. So I ordered 2 of the pizza boxes when that dropped last year. And one of them did not come with the magnet that came in the pizza box.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I emailed them. Yeah. They didn't respond. But sure enough, I had a package that showed up at my house, and it was the magnet. And I was like, son of a bitch. I'm like, I'm never going to talk bad about you guys ever again. The world turns, and here we are. But the one time they did screw me over, and is what it is at this point, but they did a release of TMNT in, at this point, 2022, of figures that had long been sold out. They put them online for you to buy. And one of them was Bebop and Rocksteady, the 2-pack. I ordered the 2-pack. I opened the box, and it's freaking Soto Shredder, who was shelf warming Target at that point, and another Casey Jones, which I already had 2 of. And I emailed them, and I was like, "This is not what I ordered. Like, can I send this back? And you guys send me the right thing?" And they were like, "Yeah, send it back. We'll send you the Bebop and Rocksteady." I send it back, and crickets. I'm emailing, and I have the emails. I emailed repeatedly. I even at one point waited like 3 weeks, and I was like, "Hey guys, I just really want to follow up here. Did you even receive it? Hey. And can I get my Bebop and Rocksteady, please?" And they were like, "Oh, turns out we don't have any more, so we're just gonna refund you." And I was like, I would have just kept those other ones at that rate, and use them for fodder at some point.
Yeah,
but no, I missed out altogether.
NECA. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think NECA's still gonna NECA. Yeah, they got great horror, and the Christopher Lee Dracula got's wonderful. I mean, that might be up there. That's a beautiful.
I talked about that last week on your review on that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks. I did see that. Thanks for that shout too. And it's, but man, the TMNT, the blind box stuff, it's like, dude, you got to fix that stuff, man. Yeah. That's horrible.
Just eat the L.
That's just,
sometimes you just got to eat the L.
Transparency.
Yeah.
When going to like what we do, a couple times a week on out there and for the world to see, got to be transparent, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a business and you want to be successful, you can't.
Yeah.
People are going to eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my final question to you, and then I'll read the comments as you think about your answer. And I only realized this because I opened up my notes app and I was like, oh, I have all these ideas I've never done. Last year, I decided I was going to do a top whatever video, but I was going to talk about things I wanted to see from companies in 2024. And
okay. Yeah.
so I'm going to pose this one to you for 2025. And for example, what I had for last year, I do want to be my goal for this year for these companies. On the list is I want some of these companies to make army builders that factor in a discount into them. I don't want, and shout out to Hasbro. They made army builders last year, but they were literally the price of two figures combined into one for 50. I don't want it. I don't want that in 2025. I want these companies to make some army builders, Cobra, foot soldiers, whatever they may be, that incorporate a discount. So for you, what is something you'd want from the toy companies this year that would make you happy? And I'm going to give you some time as I just catch up on the comments, and then we'll go for your answer. So you guys are talking about the figures of the year. We got Tatsu, Roboskull. That one, that's pretty good. Porkins scored a Mark V briefcase. Wow. Interesting. Hot toy ripoff. Oh, all right. I like that. The ripoffs these days are not even that ripoff. It's the same factory, different label. Man Collect says the accessories, being able to pose them easier puts Hasbro up there, in my opinion. That and there's not a damn chase in every figure. It's true.
Platinum. The platinum chase.
Yeah, the platinum chase, that it's the entire box. It's Gabriel Luna's birthday. Ghost Rider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, cool. Assholes lame. Yeah, it's so wrong. Yeah. I will never use NECA to buy NECA products. NECA lost their way a long time ago. It's true. Sure.
I will never use NECA to buy NECA. That's
great.
Amen. That's 100%.
Well, do you have an answer?
Not so much a good one, but just something that I noticed right here toward the end of the fourth quarter. And I know it's just businesses are going to do it, but I think you did talk about it, I think on your last one. And I'm sure you've talked about it before when, okay, let's just stick with Hasbro. They want to throw everything at us all at once. And can we spread this out? You can't nickel and dime somebody and then of course go HasLab on them and then ask for more and continue to see if that person's going to stick around. Because there's me that'll probably stick around by a little bit, just like, oh yeah, I want this. But there's a lot of people that can't keep up with just the bombardment of high priced figures, high priced this. And so Hasbro's putting out pretty good stuff. I agree with Chris. And I love the HasLabs. And like how you said, we want to support these, like the Ecto one. But man, there's got to be a point, man, where don't you guys talk to each other? Hey, G.I. Joe, when are you going to do this? Star Wars, when are you going to do that? Ghostbusters, Power Rangers, things like that. So if just Hasbro alone would kind of spread that out instead of all at once, because I got 5 G.I. Joe classified figures on my desk right now, and 2 of them are army builders, and an Alpine and a Storm Shadow. So that's like all those figures I had to get right now. I could wait, I could play long game, but I'm like, I'm gonna get them now. And then you're asking me, oh, I'm getting this dragon. Am I doing the Ecto one? I'm looking for the Cammy and the DJ. So it's just like, let's wish upon the collecting financial and logistic gods to let's spread this out evenly. let's just not just get just taking a bankroll all in one shot right before Christmas.
Yeah. I think that's what hurt the HasLab, I thought. And hey, they ended up hitting 17,000, Maybe it could have been 20. Maybe it could have been 25. Who knows? But having a HasLab end on the beginning of December.
Yeah.
The best idea.
And outside of, toys and, cosplay, when you talk movies and TV shows, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, hey, we're going to send this blockbuster for the summer blockbuster of the year. And then here comes another big movie coming in. It's like, uh-oh, they're going head to head. Did they know Top Gun was coming out? Should they have done it before Top Gun? Things like that. It's like, they got to have that sniff test. They got to see what's out there. They have to put those spies out there to say, hey, let's release this at this time. Not to compete with anybody, but just to make sure that we sell our stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you hit the nail on the head. You actually mentioned the one example I was going to say, or the same person, different franchise. Mission Impossible last year. Yeah, last year was Oppenheimer. He moved up Mission Impossible, or 2 years ago. Wow, time flies. He moved it up because of Oppenheimer, because he wanted Mission Impossible to be in IMAX, but Nolan had made a deal with the industry that it would have to be out in all the IMAX theaters in a theater when it comes out. And Tom Cruise was like, fuck. He's like, all right, I have to move it because you need to see Mission Impossible in IMAX. He actually moved it up a week to try to dodge Oppenheimer. And Tom Cruise is doing Tom Cruise, but yeah, they need to coordinate. A lot of these companies need to coordinate. Yeah,
and it's also thinking ahead.
Yeah,
it's like, wait a minute, hey, they're doing something here.
Yeah,
is it going to hurt us to either bump it back or bump it forward?
Yeah,
we all want to eat.
Conversation. We all want to eat. When is your HasLab dropping? I'll wait. But next time you give me next time you help me out, Yeah.
People, they're not like that. They're like, no, we're going to compete. We're the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want their money.
Yeah.
So, we'll see though.
Appreciate it.
2025. All right, hey man, thank you.
Glad you hopped on.
30 minutes of talking about desserts.
Hey, I'm not. I'm just gonna say this: the views dropped when we stopped talking about desserts. It's a fact. It's all about receipts. I'm all about receipts, and now almost 2 hours. No, we're almost an hour. We're actually over an hour and a half in. We're at 9 viewers, but when we were talking about desserts, we were pushing 20. So, just saying, we might have an idea of what to talk about next time.
I think those other viewers stopped watching so they could go get desserts.
They went to Daddy's Dairy. You're right.
Daddy's calling. What'd you say, Daddy? Yes, Daddy.
Exactly.
Bring my own spoon. Okay, yes, Daddy. Bringing my own spoon.
Bringing my own spoon. I love that. In case these fools don't know, JB's Toy Trunk, as I like to say anytime a guest is on the show, JB, without Daddy's Dairy, plug shit.
JB's Toy Trunk on YouTube and on Instagram. Really simple. Toy hunting when I can. Toy reviews every now and then. Ultimately, me and the wife just going out there, and sometimes the granddaughter and the kids, going out there and just having a good time. Going on 3 years now of the channel, just us finding the recollecting. We're recollecting. We're getting back into the collecting bug over these past 3 years after decades of, just dormancy, really. So it's been fun, and we're just enjoying the ride, like I always say. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and make sure you eat something well tonight right before you go to bed. Eat a nice big fat dessert before you go to bed.
I was gonna say when you said well,
wake up. Yeah, they'll wake up at 3 a.m. and go work out.
Yeah,
that's
only apparently. I'm gonna tell you right now, only you and Marsha in this chat are the ones that wake up at before 7. I'm gonna stretch it for 7, but I feel like most of us are probably 8.
Yeah. Wow. Really? Wow.
Yeah. I slept in today. I was in until 9:30. Oh no, 8:30. But that's late for me.
Sleeping in for me is 6:30. And you know how it feels good.
Well, there you go, ladies and gents. Another episode in the books. Shout out to JB's Toy Trunk. Always a pleasure to have him on the show. If you're watching this show, you're probably already subscribed to him. But on the off shot that you're not, subscribe to JB's Toy Trunk. And if you're watching the replay, go through the chat, subscribe to all these fine folks here. Shout out to Casual Nerd in the house. Actually, Casual Nerd gifted me a couple things, but one of them was a smoking kit for bourbon where you heat up the thing and then you put it over the bourbon and you drink it. So maybe for a year-end show we'll break that out. But I'd like Josh to be here for that. But if he's not, I'll do it solo and I'll pour out of the decanter, which we emptied out on the stream today.
My gosh!
But
you went.
It wasn't full. I'm not gonna.
No, I know. He's like, I'm not that guy.
I'm not that guy. I am that guy though. I got fired from a job once. I went home. I watched Hobo with a Shotgun. Call back to that we talked earlier, and I downed a bottle of apple. Honey Jack Daniels, and ate a giant burrito. Watched Hobo with a Shotgun, and celebrated losing my job the week before Christmas because I still got paid severance. So I treated it like a whole month off paid vacation.
Look at that. Full circle. Desserts,
circle.
Bourbon, burritos, Taco Bell,
and Hobo with a Shotgun. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. Can I do it too? Oh no, just you. We're out of here.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.